Hi, this is Levine and Tei with the Learn Invest Grow Show. We are very excited to talk about something new, a topic that was actually emailed to us to shed light on. Here we go. Let me show you the question. Okay, so this was an email from Alexander. And first off, thank you, Alexander, for asking for us to contribute. We really appreciate this opportunity. And Alexander is a senior editor at LinkedIn News. Okay. And the question was, Adam, what is the future of the rental market? Okay. So, first off, from our perspective, we're investing in single family residential for rent and small multifamily apartment buildings. And we're focused on workforce housing. Okay. We do see short term distress, but we're very bullish on the long term fundamentals. The pandemic has fueled the demand for workforce housing throughout the nation, and most investors anticipate that this trend to continue well beyond the pandemic. And here's an article, okay? A recent survey from the rental management platform, Avail, and the Urban Institute found that renters in smaller multifamily buildings owned by individual landlords struggle to pay rent more than renters in large corporate-owned multifamily complexes, okay? And what's interesting is that if you look over here, missed rent payments are also translating into distress for small landlords, many of whom are struggling to pay mortgages and property taxes. The survey found that many small landlords are increasingly feeling the pressure to sell their properties. Okay, so there's a few things, right? You have the small landlord, the existing landlord. You have the tenant, and then you have the investor that's going to buy this this discounted property from the existing landlord. Okay, so first off, okay, let's talk about the investor. This is an opportunity. We do see this as an opportunity now and in the future. But the opportunity really depends upon the stimulus package, because if there's stimulus money going around to tenants, it may, obviously there's an eviction moratorium, but the stimulus package may help them pay their rent. Okay, which means if they're paying rent, it's going to help landlords. But we don't know what's happening right now. We're expecting a generous stimulus package, but we don't know. Okay. The second thing is the tenant, right? We don't know what's happening with the tenant. I mean, look, yes, they don't pay rent. They're not being evicted because of the eviction moratorium. However, it does affect their credit, and they will owe back end rent, and which could, a judgment will be on their record, and that's a problem, because eventually, when the eviction moratorium comes to an end, what's happening to them? They're gonna, which will cause problems for them trying to rent another place to live, right? It could be an apartment, it could be a single family house. But the problem is that if they have bad credit, they're going to be forced to put up a larger security deposit or pay more rent up front. So that could be a problem. Another issue is, obviously the existing landlord, if the tenant's not paying, then what's going to happen? They'll eventually have to sell to an investor. So this is a big problem. However, there may be a solution to this problem. Hey, you want to shed light on that? What you discovered and you shared with me? It was right here. Where was it? This.
Yeah. So the eviction moratorium has been one of the key parts of the rental market this year. However, the prolonged eviction ban suppresses the wound for the time being, but not necessarily curing the wound completely. So this, in a way, ends up creating a vicious cycle. And obviously, there seems to be no easy way out of a financial distress. But yeah, the GRACE Act, we discovered this could be one of the good viable solution to all the financial predicament we're facing right now. So this is the idea, the proposed by Georgetown University professor James Angel in an effort to address larger scale financial issue. So under this act, the debtor would be able to defer rent payments and avoid eviction, obviously, but still they are required to pay back the deferred payments over long enough periods, more or less like 6 months. And then the creditor or landlord can sell the receivable or use it as a collateral for U.S. government-backed non-recourse loan, so they can actually pay their bills on their end. And also to incentivize banks to make those loans, they'll be permitted to carry a zero risk weight when they calculate risk-weighted asset and total leverage ratio. So which is not gonna be kind of detrimental to their capital requirement. So this loan would be counted as a high quality liquid asset. And also another component we need to think about is, okay, so what about the damage to borrower's credit? So in order to avoid the long-term impairment to their credit, this act would suggest that the deferred payments be reported as a current on credit reports, and then the lenders would not be allowed to deny credit based on these borrowers' use of the deferrals, right? And I mean, we kind of envision this can really help sever the potential deferred chain reactions that are bound to occur, right? So the most amazing part is that the financial burden to the taxpayers as a whole should be far less impactful than overarching stimulus package for everyone. So at the end of the day, taxpayers are only responsible for the actual credit losses instead of the entire deferred payments. Therefore, this GRACE Act program is more cost effective than the CARES Act, which actually spent like $1 trillion, right? So in our opinion, this act is expected to bring about many wins for all the stakeholders, such as borrowers, creditors, taxpayers, even like the U.S. economy as a whole.
Yeah,
So we
everybody,
are very hopeful.
landlords. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, and this actually it's really intriguing because yeah, like what the question is, going back to the email right here, how does this crisis end and how do you see this playing out in the industry? Right. So going back, right, we're for so we believe this is a renter nation. If anything, there's gonna be more demand for rentals. Now let's talk about affordable workforce housing. There's definitely a shortage of that. So if
right.
anything, there's going to be more demand for that product type. We're going to see people going to downsize to workforce. There's not enough of it. They're building more. Developers are building more, and we need more of that product. So short term distress, but maybe that may we don't maybe the future is maybe we won't feel it because of different programs that come into play to help renters pay and to help tenants pay their expenses. So it's a win-win on that end. But investors, they're looking for discounts and it may not be there, but we don't know. Okay. Investors are anticipating they're going to be there because they are raising money. Let's call it opportunity funds to buy discounted properties. Okay. Now, in terms of tenants, hey, we do expect a stimulus, a generous stimulus plan coming, and we'll see. Maybe that plan will help tenants pay, but then the landlord, we don't know what's going to happen, but no one really knows. But this solution of right here, this the Grace Act, maybe this could be a possible solution. And we figured this is worthwhile sharing here because we want to hear what other people think of this. I just learned about this today and I'm like, wow, this is a win-win for everybody, the landlord, the tenant, and the taxpayers. Okay. Because if we just give out, if the government just gives out money to everybody, who's paying for it? Doesn't seem it's just a
Yeah,
path.
it's got to come back as a boomerang. Yeah,
Yeah,
eventually. Yeah.
but we really there needs to be a better solution. I think this is something, and and we want to hear what people think about this and hear your thoughts. So please, like, share, subscribe, and come back with more questions. You know, we really enjoyed doing this, and we hope that you enjoyed what we had to say. And please let us know what you think of this possible solution. Sorry, you know, we don't. No one really knows. We don't have a crystal ball. But you know, we're thinking that as you know, as an investor, there's always going to be a demand for rentals, workforce housing, tenants. You know, that's a it's very, you know, we don't know what the answer is on that, but we do expect a generous um, stimulus package. So hopefully that helps them out. But even better yet, they could come up with this Grace Act. Sounds promising. So let us know what you think, and we're looking forward to hearing from you. And everybody, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, take care.
Take care. Bye now.